Hey everybody, welcome to the Baltimore to Ohio Southeastern Model Railroad in N scale. Grab a cup of coffee and a donut or three, and let's run some trains and do some switching. Hi everybody, I got home from work today and had a package in the mailbox. Hadn't ordered anything, so I didn't know what it was. It was a gift from Scott Blazak. I hope I pronounced your last name right, Scott. He saw the video where I was talking about the NW caboose, and he was at a train show and saw this and decided to send it to me. So it was, the numbers are 28 different. So it's a pretty good representation of the NW caboose. I can't tell in the picture if they had a black roof or not. I'm going to do some research, and eventually I may work up the courage to redo the cupola, but until then, I'm just going to enjoy it as it is. It's a really nicely done model. It even has the writing up above the window like that one does there. So thank you very much, Scott. I appreciate it greatly. Well, good morning, everybody. During this Friday afternoon with a very light rain falling here in Georgetown. Much needed rain. Not going to do enough to help us probably, but anything is better than nothing. So we're going to do the eastbound train this morning, interchange train. Because I have the single-ended yard, we'll use the NW2 to help us out. So they're going to pull the cars and stage them on the passing track. And then when the eastbound train leaves, he'll put the cars that were dropped off back into the yard. X-ray just jumped up beside me. Ferdinand's on the little bench. Be a little bit longer video today, along with the little bit I put on the beginning. It'll be close to 20 minutes. And tomorrow we will do the westbound train, and we'll have all the cars in the yard. They will need to start building the Oak Hill trains and the Douglas Avenue jobs. Alright, so the switcher's going to back up a little bit. After, of course, setting the brakes on the cars. And now we're going to see the eastbound train creeping into town. It's about as good as I can do when I have a longer train, because when I started this, the caboose was against the wall. So we're going to drop off 6 cars, picking up 5. That southern boxcar right behind the NW2 is the last car that we're going to drop off. So we split the train behind the southern car, and we're going to pull up through the crossover and back down to get the cars we're picking up. Nope, X-Ray just jumped back up on me and he's all wet now. He followed my wife out into the yard. She's going to have to check on the tomatoes. So now we're attaching the cars we picked up to the rest of the train. It's back across Watt Street, and we're going to drop off that block of cars. Watt Street was a real place to avoid when I was growing up. A lot of blockages. Not only from switching in the yard, but Chillicothe was a crew change point, so any train going to Cincinnati would definitely be blocking Watt Street, because by the depot where the crew changed. I always think it's interesting when you think about place names or street names and things. You know, as Watt was W-A-T-T. Was it named after, then James Watt? Or was it named after a local person in town? And we forget about all this stuff over the years. What might have been a big deal at the time. Now no one knows why they're named that way. In Pickaway County, Ohio, which is just north of Chillicothe. You got in the county, and there's a Pleasure Mill Road with a Z. So that's actually named after my great-great-grandfather, because he had a mill on that road. I'm sure no one knows that now. And why it's spelled with a Z, I don't know. All right, we've disconnected from the train. Now the locomotive is going to back up, couple onto the train, and head east. Now we'll go back to the switcher. Need to put the cars in the yard. Get ready for the westbound train. So the yard track is actually too short to hold the entire train without messing up the rest of the yard ladder. So we're going to take that southern boxcar and put it over on track 1. Like I talked about last week, when this session ends, on paper, I'm going to go in and shorten the yard tracks. Well, in the computer, I'm going to shorten the yard tracks and build some trains in the computer to see what that does. I'd rather have the yard not so full. I would think that JMRI would know to not deliver the 4 cars that aren't going anywhere to the yard. Rather than still putting 4 cars in there that don't have a customer and then making my train shorter. But we'll see. So in reality, the Chillicothe yard also had cars in there for the Mead paper. We had the big grain elevator in town. There are other industries around, before you got to Oak Hill and Jackson and Wellston and places like that. So I'm just modeling a fraction of what was actually there. That should do it for this session. So I will see you tomorrow morning. Stay safe.